Are you trying to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello. I represent the public, we the people. And we the people have a right to speak before, okay, to you, my name is R.L. Mitchell, for the record. And through you, Madam Chair, to Council Lady Lewis. When she said something about be germane, we the people is germane when we listen to her, the doctor, right, like they did to Michael Jackson, you know, gave him that pill and he died at 50 years old, and we study being humane while she making the people walk out, and they asked her where she was going, she kept on going. And you up there, I'm glad you didn't break up the form too. About time you spoke up, you see, look at that. School teacher walked out too, and all them, you see what them fantastic six, they vote and stuff and all that in America, listening to us right now and all over the world, poison us. And you up there, and look at that. Look at all Miss Priestley talking that junk with the money. You know that? Oh, that's my time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff. No bullshit.
The voice of Flint.
The voice of the people, Charlie.
Voice of the people. That's
Yep.
it. That's the song of Flint right there.
Yep.
They are frustrated up there.
I can understand
So
why.
with the police, the fire, now we respect first responders. You know that, right? I mean, you know that.
To the utmost, we do.
But like they don't got anything. And we're gonna bring you the sad, woebegone tale of a couple firefighters didn't do the job, lied about it. Some children died, and they're still on the job. Now on the other side, Lieutenant Maurice Funches is here. We all know him. That's 27-year veteran Detroit Police Department. That's got the
Fire
Purple Heart,
Department.
right? You're getting the Purple Heart, brother.
Fire department. You said police department.
I did.
Yes, you
did.
did.
I say the police department? He does both, you know.
Well, I know, but you know, fire, police,
Works two jobs.
they want their
Works 2 jobs.
thing.
Yeah, but that's what we're gonna bring today. We're gonna bring some local flavor. But let me tell you, well, you got that beat on? Knock that beat off, bro. Because what I got to tell the people is serious, very serious. People of Michigan, did you know you are now expected to pay handsomely for a company from the People's Republic of China to bring a few measly jobs here? Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Republicans, Mike Shirkey and what's the other dude, Speaker of the House? Wentworth. Yeah, Jason Wentworth. Yeah, Republicans cooked up a little backroom deal to pull off another opaque screw interview, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. Because this time, we're forking over $715 million in public cash and tax breaks to a Chinese battery maker to build a $2 billion facility in Big Rapids. And not 2 weeks ago, they told us it was going to be a $3 billion facility. And that doesn't even include what the county and the locals are going to give them. What's the pay, you ask? Unclear. How many jobs, you might wonder? Up to 2,350. But that's just the press release. Naturally, full details have not been released to we, the public. So muddy is the deal, the Republican chairman of the State House Appropriations Committee resigned in protest. And you don't just resign that job, that makes you one of the most powerful people in Michigan. And he's like, I'm out. You know why? Do the basic math. We will subsidize this company, Goshen, we'll subsidize them $350,000 for every job promised without seeing a building schedule or a business plan or any assurity that they'll ever come to fruition anyway. There are no guarantees that these jobs will materialize or how long they'll even exist. Goshen has never so much as produced a widget in the United States, despite what some of you on Twitter think they're subsidiary companies from the company in China. And the top Chinese executive is a billionaire. The company's partially owned by Volkswagen and a Hong Kong investment group whose ties to the Chinese military are unknown. It's not xenophobic to question a mega deal funded by taxpayers that will extend China's supply chain deep into the heart of America. The White House considers the People's Republic of China and its global business strategy a long-term threat to the United States. That's not me. That's President Joe Biden, who recently wrote in his National Security Strategy memo, China is the only competitor with both the intent to reshape the international order and increasingly the economic, diplomatic, military, and technological power to advance that objective. This year, 2022, is the 20th anniversary of China winning full trading relations with the United States. Business loved it back then, labor hated it, and now one generation later, we're subsidizing it. A generation ago, China was a regional backwater. Now Biden, who voted for that, calls it our greatest threat. I wonder if we could go back, would we do it again? Cheap TVs, steal our technology, take our jobs, would we do it again? Since normalization of trade, the United States has lost nearly 3 million manufacturing jobs to China, and Michigan more than 110,000 more. Our yearly trade deficit with China surpassed $350 billion in 2021. That's like, I'm trying to think of the gross domestic product of Brazil. Somebody look that up for me. What's the gross domestic product of Brazil, one of the largest nations on planet Earth? It's been a bad deal. But every American politician loves to cut a ribbon, and when the deals implode, the taxpayers and those kids back there are left holding the bag. But by then, the politicians are long gone. Remember those sweetheart subsidies Jennifer Granholm gave to the battery and windmill and solar panel concerns a decade ago? Do you all in this room? You all remember that?
Yes, we do.
Almost all of them fell apart. But who's keeping track? When will we learn that subsidizing the 1% never delivers what was promised, whether it's for a hockey arena, a skyscraper, an Amazon plant over there in Western Wayne County, or an assembly line? The best approach for a long-term standard of living for those kids back there is investing in infrastructure and their future. Our people, not a Chinese billionaire. And that starts with educating the kids. Y'all might remember when Amazon gave Detroit the middle finger as a location for its second world headquarters, despite the giant steroid carrot of $4 billion in taxpayer incentives. What was Amazon telling us? It was telling us our kids can't read, that the brain power needed for the modern economy is not here. Tough medicine, but listen to them. Our schools are failing and our children are falling behind. More than a third of third graders in Michigan are not proficient in English. And our adults can't do simple arithmetic. Governor Whitmer trumpets her 5% increase in per pupil spending, which is nice. That's nice. But when you factor in 8.2% national inflation, do the math. Whitmer's budget actually cut yearly education spending by 3.2%. Let's think that in. Raised it by 5, inflation's up by 8. That means we can actually buy 3% less stuff. That's no plan. Neither are corporate handouts with flimsy strings attached. I'm telling you, my fellow citizens, we've got to do better. If things keep up this way, our economic interests will be hostage to the Chinese Communist Party. Still, let's take a moment to congratulate President Xi Jinping, who's been elected to an unprecedented third term. You've earned it, sir. Much to our demise. And now a word from our sponsors.
I don't know why I'm in the desert in my underpants. I don't know why these wolves are following me, but I need sausage. A good wiener is hard to find, so make sure you treat it kind. Sausage. You may run with a pack, but everything ain't meant to be said. Sausage. No need to cross the desert. No need to cross 8 Mile. Who these wolves be? Get back, bitch. Sausage. Order a Coney kit directly to your door at AmericanConeyIsland.com.
Yeah, you best hurry up, man, because that holiday season's coming. Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com and order those Coney kits. I will be packing them special.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi, Karen.
How are you?
I'm good. Let me knock these out.
Go right
Well,
ahead.
I'm not really knocking them out, because we really appreciate our sponsors and we believe in them.
Stripper music.
This is Maurice Davis, former Flint City Councilman and King of the Party Blues. Just so you know, it's an original for Luke Nowacki, who reminds you overreaction is not a strategy. Inflation. We were all talking about inflation. What to do if you're lucky enough to have a couple of bucks squirreled away and you don't want to lose them to inflation. What do? It's hard to know what to do. Some people study this. This is their job. They give you advice. They give you rational financial advice. The best I know is Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth. 248-663-4748. Get advice, get a strategy. Luke Nowacki, 248-663-4748.
And call the one and only Royal Alliance Associates.
Good tune, man.
It is.
An ADR. If you're a bum-ass mayor of some town or governor doesn't know what she's doing, you can't keep anything straight. The unemployment office is giving out $8.5 billion, including to Kim Kardashian. And you couldn't see that was the problem? You call ADR. Reduce your costs, increase your bottom line, get the processes in order. ADR consultants are experts in procurement and government fuck up and fixing it, compliance, information technology. They're actually honest. They're actually ethical. They're actually smart. You know what I mean? They earn their money. Can we get some of that? I tell you how you get some of that. You call Barry Ellentuck at ADR 248-318-9424. That's again Barry Ellentuck, 248-318-9424. Get it done right, on time, on budget, or get lost.
There's the soft sell, there's the hard sell, and then the angry
spelled
sell.
it.
I like the angry sell.
I just said, what are we doing?
I ask you that every week.
How much going to the Chinese?
Too much.
That's not xenophobic in the least.
No, it's not.
Are we going to do it with the Russians?
Probably.
We're doing it with the Mexicans. The fucking cartel runs Mexico, and all of our car jobs are going down there. And pretty soon, we're going to have to deal with the cartels to have flow of trade.
That should be
There's
interesting.
no doubt. And I'm slowly but surely getting my shit together, and we'll be down there sooner than later.
Wow.
Oh, man. Come on. Now, I did some math. This is actually from Nursing Home Joe. Remember Nursing Home Joe? Joe LeBlanc, the whistleblower.
Good guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's on the HCAM board. He's like a big wig in senior living, assisted living specifically. By the time all the money came out, you know how much we were spending on our elders in the assisted living facilities during COVID? Do you know how much money they got? 96 cents a day.
Per person?
Per person.
That's ridiculous.
96 fucking cents. And you could come up with 800 minimum, because these deals are always bullshit and they're always more. $800 million for a battery factory.
Wow.
Where I don't even know what the hourly
Batteries.
wage is going to be.
And batteries for what kind of batteries? Are these for EVs? What,
Yeah,
okay,
electric
EVs.
yeah.
Okay.
But they're not even the high tech ones. They're
Right.
the I don't know what am I?
Double A?
Lithium diode. Yeah, it's just you know the ones you stick your tongue on.
Yeah.
No, the ones you stick your tongue on.
Hey.
I got a magic tongue.
Don't say that,
Did you ever
Mark.
know that?
Oh,
Watch
boy.
this.
Charlie, don't. Charlie.
What? I put it right out there. Right out there.
Like Mr. Deed's foot,
I
you
know.
have no feeling.
We're taking calls on that. Okay, but I want an accounting of this. Look, I try to respect everybody's point of view. I mean, I got to live here, right?
Right.
What are we doing with these deals? What did we do with the nursing homes? None of this shit's being asked.
No, it's not.
Abortion's a very big issue, but it's not the only issue.
And it shouldn't be.
Then why are we not hearing questions and answers about, well, what did you do in the nursing home?
But you kind of know that, though, Charlie. I mean, yeah, you do know.
I do.
And we've talked about it
Do you?
before.
No.
You do. Well, it shouldn't be that way. That's not journalism. but-
Karen, we're
Thank you.
teeing you up here, and you're like, you already know.
No, I'm talking. I thought I was talking.
I'm
I'm saying that we do know because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And that's because I don't want to, paint a broad stroke, but everybody wants to be included. Everybody wants to be invited to the table. So they take the press release. They want access. And they go with what they're told. They don't challenge. They don't create any waves. There's no attempt for accountability. And at the end of the day, they've got the interview and we don't have answers.
It's fine. We're going to fuck the press for a minute and stop sending me messages. I don't care. It's a show, man. I'm not really talking about you. I'm just talking in general. Why did people die? Why didn't we count them correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you commingle them, Governor? I expect something brassy to happen because the polls now show Tudor Dixon, the Republican, with no experience whatsoever and no money's within 5.
Yeah,
Although 20% of the absentee ballots have already been turned in.
it's interesting.
It's about the same with Nessel and DePerno. Oh, my God.
Well, and maybe, and still, instead of people saying we're going to take the lesser of the two evils, we're just going to roll the dice and take a chance on the evil.
You want to know how bad this is? No one in particular, but you look nationwide, you can look statewide, you can look locally. We've been given, and a lot of times, the Republicans giving us not good candidates, not electable candidates. And this thing's still fucking close because the people sitting in the chairs now are just as bad. They're terrible. Nobody's reading us right.
But people are fed up too, Charlie. And at a certain point, what do they call insanity? Keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. So they're like, okay, well, let's try something different.
Yeah, but Henry Ford said, if you keep trying, you fail, you just get better. He said that's intelligent.
Yeah, but after a while, you cut your losses and you do something different.
That's true.
I mean, that's reality.
I just look, no matter where you're at with it, I mean, respect me because I respect you, but I'm allowed to bitch about what's going on. We got some kids back there. We got kids of the hero. That family struggle. Why are we to do the work? Okay, you, not me. I yell in a microphone. Why is it the people doing the work have
the short
less
stick.
and less
Yep.
and less? And you're trying to tell me indemnifying the profit for a Chinese-based company is the answer?
The way to go, yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me all these jobs will average $29 an hour like I just fell off the cabbage truck? You mean, does that include in the average that the plant manager makes $1.5 million? How is this averaged? These aren't UAW jobs. UAW jobs aren't getting $29 an hour.
And those questions aren't asked, Charlie, so you never know.
So we run around parading, and then, you look across town, and Stellantis, when they used to be Fiat, promised us 10,000 jobs, and we didn't get a new job.
Or did it say up to 10,000? Like this one says up to. That could be 1.
Oh, I got
could
that
be
shit
5.
saved in my office. It's weird. My office. I got that shit saved. I know what you promised. And then I looked it up today. There ain't even 5,000 jobs over there, and there were 5,000 jobs before we gave you the $500 million.
But some of that goes back to the same reason why that you pointed out in your column, Charlie, Amazon, that, people fail the drug test. They're not job ready. I'm saying that becomes an excuse. I'm just saying.
Yo, dude, what's the name of the county in Big Rapids where this Mecosta County. Like there was something in the newspaper. It said Mecosta County gave out all these weed permits, right? Dispensaries. and they might have given out too many. There's not enough people. Like, that's their growth strategy.
Okay.
And there are not enough people smoking weed. So this factory will be great because it'll be up to 2,350 jobs, paying up to $29 an hour, and all of a sudden we got 2,300 people buying weed. What a strategy! Like, and I wanted some fucker high on the ganj building my battery.
Well,
What?
It doesn't make any sense. I immediately think of that whole.
Then you should
What?
run
What
for
did I do?
governor, because that's
Me?
exactly what we're gonna do.
Mark.
I think I do a pretty good job, right?
Yeah, I think you would too. You're smart. I mean, you are. You
Don't
say you're not, but you
stop
are.
saying
You
that.
are.
I don't like that.
Okay, you're stupid. Is
Thank
that
you.
better?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
total
now
fool.
this is all so stupid. Now, is Councilman Eric Mays with us?
Councilman?
Checking if he's there. She'd been doing that while we were jibber jabbering. What'd you say now? Is that phone terrible? Let me hear it go 1, 2, 3, sir.
I don't know.
Oh,
We'll see how it goes.
There
I
it
hear
is.
an echo.
Because I got a plan B if that don't work. Now, here's what I'm hip to, and it's good to have Lieutenant Maurice Funches in the house. Because listen to this one, brother. 2 Flint firefighters who issued an all clear during a house fire in late May never searched a room on the 2nd floor where 2 children were who later died. Okay? Okay. Now, according to Fire Chief Raymond Barton in Flint, Zaire Mitchell, 11, and Lamar Mitchell, 9, were left in heat and heavy smoke for roughly 7 minutes after the all clear was announced. Then the secondary sweep came through, and they found them, and they were alive. And they died 2 days later. So you know what 7 minutes means, don't you? Yeah, he's shaking his head, man. Wow. Now, here's the deal. According to Barton's report, both of the firefighters gave false accounts of their actions that day, May 28th. Says a lieutenant who was investigating that there was no way the firefighters performed the search, that they entered the bedroom where the victims were found. The report says one of the boys was found immediately inside the bedroom door and would have been found if anybody had opened the goddamn door. The second brother was found on top of the bed in the same room with folded clothes. The bed was made. You know, as a firefighter, you go in that room, you flip the matches. Is that right, brother? That's basic firefighter hero shit. You want to get the fuck out of there, you know. But that's basic hero stuff. House collapsed on you, didn't it? You were searching, weren't you? I can't wait to have you on here, man. I want to get through this, though, because, you know, night and day, because we support you. But we don't support lying and not doing the job. They even had the infrared thing. You would have found him. You would have found him, he said.
So they weren't looking.
They didn't open the door.
That's
He said people open the door. It's like those night vision goggles, people. Like, you open the door, you're going to see them. You didn't open the door, and that's what the chief found. The chief wrote, both firefighters neglected to perform the task of completing a sweep of the 2nd floor. Such neglect resulted in factually incorrect calls being made, stating that the 2nd floor sweep was negative and to cancel the other trucks en route. Furthermore, he wrote, the chief, due to the nature of the incident and the actions or lack of action possibly contributing to the loss of the life of the 2 boys, I have determined to terminate both. But they haven't been terminated. One was allowed to resign, and he's a union official. I believe we'll ask the councilman. He is now working in another department. And the other firefighter was suspended 2 weeks without pay, and he's back working now. Is that correct, Councilman Mays?
I'm hearing that, and I'm also hearing that the mayor gave an order to reverse it. Fire chief ordered to fire them because he didn't want it to come out during his election. That's what I'm concerned about.
priorities.
So the mayor decided he didn't. I don't know. I think I would appreciate a mayor more that had a backbone and was looking out for the children of my community.
2 kids are dead.
Here, let me do this. Let's hear from last night at the long and laborious 6-hour Flint City Council meeting. This was the mother of the 2 children. I want to say the names again.
Yeah, her name is Crystal Cooper.
Zaire and Lamar Mitchell,
You got it.
11 and 9 years old.
Yeah, here's the mom.
They committed a crime. For them to say they searched a house and they really didn't search a house. For them to be able to be suspended with pay. They didn't do no, they wasn't dealt with properly. They essential worker, I'm an essential worker. And I feel like they didn't hold their end of what they signed up to do as far as being a firefighter. I can't get my kids back. Nothing to bring them back. But I don't want this to happen to nobody else. And the fact that they didn't do their job and they thought about, they lied several times. They need to be held accountable for their actions.
Eric?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, you're a bigwig there. You're in the city council. What's next? You hear that woman? She's speaking for all of us. She doesn't want it to. That's my sister. She doesn't want it to happen to me.
Yeah, well, based upon the information that we're getting and the direct communications from the fire chief, he seems to say that he had ordered them terminated for what they did and didn't do. And he had to leave and go out of town. And the human relations director said to us directly that the city attorney answers directly to the mayor, saying and told them to reverse the termination charge. And we've got another incident with an alleged police chase. It seems to be a pattern that this mayor is issuing orders for folks not to do stuff to let these stories come out because he's in the middle of the November election, and I find that appalling, real appalling, if it's true.
Well, look, you know, we love Flint. You know that. We try to keep tabs. We try to get up there. I know this. You don't have enough police. Some of them drive around in a cruiser with no computer and no radio. I know you got a shift of cops having to, what's the word? Ration tasers. There's not a taser per cop. What happened to that, what was it, $94 million in COVID money that President Biden said should be put towards public safety? Where the fuck is it?
That money have set part of it, $47 million, for over a year, and we're approaching 2 years on the second $47 million. And what I'm noticing, Charlie, when you talk about the battery type factory, what I'm noticing with that $94 million, when the big shots, I'm gonna call them, come in and reach their hand out for money, $16 million to the land bank. The Ashley Capital firm that want to put some up to 33,000 jobs on the old Buick City General Motors site.
Up
They
to.
cough that money out. But when it comes to public safety, when it comes to residents who qualify for roofs on their houses and so forth and so on, nothing moves. And so that's what's also appalling to me. We have money sitting in our banking account to fix that police department, fix that fire department, and you got folks playing political football with those dollars, and everything seemed to be self-centered on certain politicians with a lack of knowledge or ignorance, trying to do something for themselves and their family to try to get reelected and have really not done anything to help the people.
What a game. What a fucking hustle.
None of this makes any sense.
Remember
And
the
you
guy?
can't get the mainstream media to pick up on these
Right,
stories.
dude.
That's what's also a part.
Dude, this should be, look, this should be a national story. And I was thinking, I called the former fire commissioner of Detroit, right? Eric Jones, said, what would you do on this? And he said, they'd be gone. They'd be fired. And we were talking, he goes, do you remember the two little boys in Grosse Pointe 3 years ago in 2019? They died in a house fire. Okay? And it's horrible. It's horrible. And that was international news. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was international news, and that had nothing. That was a toaster. That was a toaster. This was an electric switch. I think that's what they're saying, right? An electrical problem in the living room.
Faulty electric.
But that went international, and this one gets no notice. And I would like to remember the boys. Christ, I don't even know if I wrote their names down. I'm thinking of them, though. I'm thinking of them. But I know this.
Charlie, I was standing outside.
Let me
of that
say this,
house.
Eric, before I forget it. I know this. It was a tragedy. The community, the media, they all came together. What happened in Flint, okay, so in that case in Grosse Pointe, the dad went to work, first day on the job. Mom was running an errand. Everybody was sad. In Flint, the father came home directly, and he was put in handcuffs and put in the back of the car and going to be taken downtown for neglect and abuse of leaving two kids alone. You see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm. I see exactly what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
we all matter.
But to whom? That's the question, Charlie. Who do we matter to? To whom do we matter?
Well, it should be each other, right?
It should be, but it's not.
And it should be more than a Twitter,
Exactly. Exactly. Or
Hearts and minds are with you.
or clicking a care or a prayer hands emoji when somebody talks about something. But you're right. And we talked about this last week in terms of the areas with the highest crime, the areas that had the biggest problems. Flint is not a city. The water thing isn't sexy anymore, so nobody's paying attention to it. Remember, we had Cher. We had all these people coming in with bottled water. Okay, well, that played out. And so nobody really cares about this city anymore. They just don't.
That's right. And Eric, we're in an election season, and nobody's holding Attorney General Dana Nessle's feet to the fire on the fact that everybody involved in poisoning your people, and remember what you told me about your ball sack wasn't feeling very nice in that water either. Remember that there was absolutely no justice for anything in the end of it, and we don't hear anything, Eric.
Well, you hear something, but it's coming from some of us in the grassroots. I don't like to hear that nobody is paying attention because
My apologies. You're
not
correct.
only is we paying attention, but we're trying to use every forum and platform to bring this to light. But there are some people in certain positions in our mainstream media. There are some people in certain positions in our elected offices who could bring this to light and get justice all the way around. But they're self-centered. They're, in my opinion, hiding and covering up, trying to make it through an election season. And it ain't just the fire incident. You got an alleged police chase that resulted in a death and a fatality.
I know.
And they happened within the same proximity. We voted last night, some of us, to try to spark an independent investigation to get to the bottom of who's trying to cover this stuff up.
All I know is this. You got problems with bid rigging. I mean, the pipes and the cars. We sent you 94 million, the water poisoning, $500 million, and like it's gone. It's the same up in this shit down here. I think everywhere in America it's like that. I just encourage people, just come on, think, man. Get out of the easy shit. You know, like everybody's like taking one of those bubble tests. You know what I mean? Is this your card? You know, I'm sick of hearing you're a rhino, Republican in name only.
But Councilman Mays, why is the money just sitting there, and why is it being allowed to just sit there? I mean, as a councilman, I assume that you're not the only one that feels this way, that something should be done.
Yeah, I put a motion on the floor, I think that was last week, to approve the money, and one of the council persons who was chairing the meeting blocked the second to the motion. And the majority of the council, who seems to collaborate with this mayor, they wouldn't even allow for a second to the motion to try to attempt to spend this money.
Okay.
Now, that stuff been going on for months. I was the president of the council, and when I made a move to sign up for mayor, they removed me from president, and we're in the Michigan Court of Appeals on that unlawful removal.
Okay.
So when you got certain people who can make stuff happen wrongfully, it's an uphill challenge for one or two voices to overcome these powers that be.
But that kind of sounds like you're undermining what could be your own.
No,
No?
do not take me with Eric into the bowels of the Flint City Council 6-hour
It
meeting.
doesn't make any sense. I mean,
I got through a half a gallon of Jameson last night listening. Is that true, Libby? It's
Charlie,
true.
let me ask a question.
Okay, go ahead. Ask me
Who
what.
made the rule of how long a multi-million-dollar municipal corporation should meet in order to take care of the business? Who made the rule? Should it be 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours? Should it be 3 days, 4 days? That's a false narrative.
No, I'm just saying. I would prefer 2 hours.
To take care of business.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But you asked me. I prefer 2 hours. I hung out for the whole thing. In fact, you know what I did this week?
What?
I went up to the 13th floor, like one of the, subcommittees for the city council. You know, Eric, the one where they give away a lot of money to developers who say chatty chat and this and that and credits to the community and this AMI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's going to cost this, and I need this much. And nobody ever sits through them. Like, I need this much. And you're like, there's the hustle. And it was one after another, after another, after another, because nobody wants to sit through this shit.
Who can do that, Charlie? It's unnecessarily cumbersome.
But
it is.
that's where Maurice's money's going.
That's crazy.
Everybody's bored with the real.
When you charge with the duty and responsibility to take care of the public health and safety of a municipality, and when you charge with the duty of distributing millions of dollars, I'm appalled that the mainstream media and anybody else would put a time limit on how long it takes to get people to take care of business. I'm in this thing full time. I'm for real.
Eric, I know you are, dude, and I know why you do it, because all the games going on in your town, and I don't see anything getting better, and I know you're a good man. I just, you come on here, we're going to talk truth, we're going to have a little fun, but I know you're a good man, and you know what I mean? You do the work. Thank you for that. You do, brother. And I know that's a critique of you, but 6 hours, bro.
I just.
Charlie, I stood outside that house with them kids for a few hours.
By the way, that house.
Was one incident with a fire.
You could see that. Like, Eric, let me say. Is this the do part?
Yeah, go ahead.
The house where those boys died.
People depend on you, and they.
All right,
we'll come back to him. He's just keep going. He won't even know him. The house where those boys died, you could see it from the firehouse. Is kitty corner across the street.
Oh boy.
Put him back on. You there, Eric?
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, it was right across the street, and you were there, right?
Yeah, I was standing out there. I knew something that went very wrong.
What city councilman?
Yeah.
Gonna stand there? I mean, I
Very
got mad respect for you, dude. And I'm gonna say this because we gotta move because Maurice got his kids here. I want to just have one parting thought here, Eric, and it's this: that Black Lives Matter. Yes, they do, and yes, white lives matter. But which lives matter most? I'll tell you. Children. Doesn't matter the color. And if we can't do by them, we failed.
I agree.
Take me to Black Joe. Okay. I'm going to tell you about Hall Financial and Legacy Partners, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened today. I was getting my training for the elections, absentee vote counter. You know me, I'm doing it. And I left, and an older woman pulled up, hey, Charlie, what do? My basement flooded. Remember that, Karen? Your basement flooded?
Yep.
She needs a roof. You heard Councilman Mays talk about there's all these programs with all this money for the roof. She didn't get the roof. She got a measly $5,000 for the basement. She asked me, what do? I said, first of all, you purchased that I-bond. I told you about that inflation bond. Get that 10% return. Look it up, Maurice. Whether it's 100, 1,000, maximum 10, it give you 10% return. Then I said, you can't get insurance without the roof, and you don't have the money for the roof.
That's true.
So I said, here's what you do. Do you own the home? She's got a duplex. She goes, I own it outright. I said, you get a small. What's the name of that loan when you're fixing up your shit?
Equity?
Yeah, home equity loan. Get a small one. Get that roof put on.
It's first.
Okay? That's what you do. And I said, write it down. You call Hall Financial. I said to her, do you know how much value your home's increased over the last 1 or 2 years with that frenzy? Like, you can do this. You need to protect your roof so you can get the insurance.
And her investment.
Exactly. So I told her to look up, Hall. Where's my number, man? You all don't have to look it up. I got the number.
It's up on the screen.
866 call Hall. I mean, no, I shouldn't. 866. There's more people, tens of thousands of more people listen than watch. 866 call Hall. They'll get it done, and they tap some of the equity and get something done. I'm saying to the lady. Then I said to her, she said, I go, what was your insurance for the basement? She goes, honey, $5,000.
A what?
$5,000 for the flood. She goes, I go, what? She goes, it didn't cover nothing.
Yeah,
I got the appliances. I've got the furnace. I've got the hot water heater. She still got the mold.
Wow.
She was an elegant lady.
That's $30,000 off the top.
Word. And you know what I said? I swear to God. I said, Legacy Partners. Legacy Partners. Because I told you I was going to look into them. They wanted to advertise. I got to believe in them. I met them this week. Remember that whiskey I was drinking last night, Libby? They brought me that. It was nice. Good people. And then I asked the owner, Joe, the guy, I said, okay, dude, I got $1,000 less a year. So my note went down. I got $150,000 to $200,000 more coverage. And my flooding insurance, the shit comes up through the drain. You know what I had before?
What?
$5,000. Same as her. I looked at Joe. I go, what do I got now? He goes, you got $25,000.
And most people don't realize about flood insurance until it floods.
I'm a sophisticated motherfucker. I'm sophisticated like a motherfucker. I can tie a tie. I can do a bow tie. I can do an ascot.
Ooh,
fancy. Yeah.
I know. Well, no one ever showed me, but
you practice.
Professor Drummond over at University of California, Berkeley. Yeah, everybody was scared of the Professor Drummond, man. Reading hardcore doing Yeah, Dapper Dude. Dapper Dude. Yeah, come over here real quick. Hurry, just real quick. Hurry, because we got to get Mo on. It's my friend Libby Lewis. Long time friend.
She's pretty dapper. Look at her. She's awfully fashionable. I like that coat.
How you doing? All right. I stand up. All right.
Yeah, you quit the
All
weed,
right.
huh? You quit the weed?
I don't. Yeah, I can't.
Why'd you quit the weed?
I just, it's not for me. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's all you were about.
I'm into vegetables and fruits and shit.
There you
Well,
go.
she does live in California.
I want to live. I want to live.
That's
I want to
great
live.
to hear.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what kind of life you want to live?
A healthy one, man. A healthy one. What
you
kind of
want-
life you want to live?
I want to party.
He wants bubble gum and cigarettes, y'all.
Speaking of which,
I can't live on that. You're doing all right,
I
though.
think you
The
gotta
whiskey thing last night, I was a little concerned. I was wondering how many glasses he was going to pour.
I only had 2.
No.
Fucking come on.
You only had 2, huh?
At home.
How big were the
big
glasses?
were they?
Yeah.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah,
You don't know
yeah.
anything
He
about
said a
drinking.
half-gallon,
She doesn't know anything about drinking. She eats fruits and vegetables.
It's true. Guilty. Guilty.
Did you notice I went in the fridge and got the Velveeta wraps too?
I did notice that.
Oh, I love the Velveeta.
That's not real cheese.
That's
Charlie.
not it. Thank you.
No, it's not.
My wife keeps buying it.
It's not real
So it
cheese.
must be
Karen.
something.
Listen to Karen.
It's not. And I listen. I
tells
listened
you
to
the
my
truth.
daughter. That's where I learned it from. So see, that's not real cheese.
Hey, Victor, you like Velveeta, bro? You don't know what that is, Maurice? Oh, because you make
See,
real cheese.
everybody knows
What
what
do
you, Charlie.
What do you mean you make real cheese? What are you, fucking Amish? He turns butter and makes real cheese. He got goats.
Ask Red. Red, do you eat Velveeta cheese slices? See, there you go.
He can't afford them. All right, thanks for being here. Yeah.
All right.
Professor Drummond was,
Professor Drummond, he was wonderful.
He still is.
Yeah, he still is. He's
still
out there. He's still busy. He's a busy
still,
guy.
He's still producing, publishing a paper from San Quentin State Prison.
Drummond has always been, stand-up guy.
Yeah, I always like that.
Livy,
God
one
bless
question. CMOS?
Oh yeah, CMOS.
Oh yeah, you got to talk to Kirby. That's,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Oh, my
She's-
God.
You got to start the CMOS.
I got an idea for
Charlie.
a new show.
There you go.
What do you think? Wait. That's good, but it gave me a new idea. What if we call it? What if we call this show Debbie and Shaniqua?
Debbie and who's Debbie and who's Shaniqua?
We get Shaniqua's from the hood and Debbie's from the trailer park, and we put them together to do a podcast, and they talk about men,
I have
and
no-
fashion,
I love it.
and recipes.
Good luck with that.
I mean, that could be super interesting.
I bet you they'd find more in common than you'd think.
They probably
That's
would.
the point.
That's the point, yeah.
Look at that. You're thinking like me, brother. All right, let me, without any further
Why
ado.
can't we do Leroy and Billy?
Because chicks are more
Yeah,
interesting.
Exactly, yeah.
That's called Monday Night Football.
Okay, I was just saying, let's get both sides of the story, Charlie.
Come on, Mo. Come on up. It's my honor to introduce Lieutenant Maurice Funches, 27-year veteran of the Detroit Fire Department. You might have seen him in the news. Put those headphones on, brother.
Stand
Yeah, you get to stand up. You can
stand up
sit if
guy.
you want. You want to sit?
No, I wasn't saying he was standing up. I was saying he is a stand up guy.
Thank you very much.
I wasn't
Karen. I
saying
appreciate it.
you're more than welcome.
So,
sir.
Maurice, you're being honored with the Purple Heart at, what is that, the Heroes Foundation?
I guess.
Yes, it's the above.
Get right this. See the mic right there?
You can pull
like,
it up. You can
like
pull
that quarter, you speak directly right in there.
It's the above and beyond awards
Okay.
for the Detroit Fire Department. So
Would you win it for?
for getting hurt
Well, geez.
earlier
What happened?
this year. Well, a house fell on me actually. July the 28th.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Take a breath, dude.
Relax. It's just
I'm gonna
us.
teach you like when I first went on TV, like for Fox 2. I just pretend the camera's not even there. That's the best thing to do. It ain't even on.
Well, I'm supposed to be a preacher, but
Oh.
I'm supposed to be comfortable in front of a microphone and talking. So
See, there it is. Okay, so what happened to you?
a house collapsed on me. July the 28th, 2022. We were fighting a fire doing our overhaul and salvage. And the house came down. And it was like that movie. And
Backdraft?
Backdraft?
No, it wasn't that like
Oh,
Backdraft.
wasn't that one?
Poseidon Adventure?
No, it was worse than Poseidon. It was the one with when all hell broke loose and that water came in and
The
floated.
Titanic?
No.
No.
No, it was one of them disaster movies.
Okay.
And That's what it felt like.
Was it were the like truss whatever fell? Was it on
Yeah.
fire?
It wasn't on fire. We had to mostly put out. We were just doing salvage and overhaul, and it collapsed in on us. Lieutenant Fillmore, he was buried about 10 feet under rubble, and Lieutenant Tillman, he was also buried under about 5 feet, and I was buried about 2 feet up underneath some rubble. All of this stuff that you see right here, just thinking of matching just all up on top of you.
Do you think you were gonna die?
It was scary. It was it was number 3 on my list. We flipped over on the squad.
What was 1 and 2?
Flipped over in the squad, and I ran out of air in a warehouse fire, and I couldn't find my way out, and your bell going off, and it's pitch black, and that's one of the days you contemplate your life.
Your mortality. Understandable.
You know what's cool is people can't see or hear, but I see your children here watching. Yeah, I hope you're proud of your dad. Yeah,
I'm kidnapping them.
I hope you're proud of him, because even when things get tough, you know what? You know your dad's dad, like super dude. He is. So I'm gonna shake your hand, man. When the bell answers, you go in.
Yes, do.
And you do your work.
We got burnt plenty of times, and me and Lieutenant Tillman, we've been in a lot of fires.
You ever pull a kid out?
I have 14 citations of bravery. Wow. If you see mine. If you look on my first Facebook page, you'll see a couple of my medals, a couple of things that I've done. Earlier this year, we pulled out 5 kids on Wisconsin, and then we did also on a day later, we pulled them out on Santa Barbara, an older couple, and that was just this year. We didn't receive anything for that, though.
You don't do it
but
for
you
that.
don't do it for that. Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, maybe he does. I mean, we're putting words in his mouth. I mean,
I don't think people put their lives on the line for a certificate of recognition. That just doesn't equate. Am I correct? Am I presumptuous?
No, we don't. We do it because we love the job. That's first and foremost.
Do you feel appreciated?
We're underappreciated. We do. We get it all the time that we love what you do, but do you actually know what we do? We've dealt with medical calls. They threw that on us. The EMT. I'm an EMT, right. So doing that.
Yeah,
having 15 calls.
Let me do this while we're at it. So they had the firefighters do the EMT,
yes.
Right? So basically, there's a call, and for ages, there's no ambulance in Detroit, and so they now have you guys pull out the rig and show up, and then the clock stops, so that way the citizens believe they're getting top-notch medical care in minutes, when it's basically guys with some Narcan pens.
And sitting here looking at you just like this, waiting for the ambulance just like you are.
But
we're waiting.
There's a safety component to that,
Wait.
Okay, well, question 2.
No, let that sink in.
Not
for you.
Okay.
Not for you, because Karen used to run City Hall.
No, Karen did not.
I want the people to hear what he just said. The firefighters show up in the bunker gear with carbon all over it. Clock stop. He's going into cardiac. He's diabetic. We don't know what the fuck to do. We're waiting for an ambulance too.
No, we'll wait. If you're dying, we'll get you. But if we're just sitting there, if we can't do anything, we can only do up to our medical license, and that's an MFR, medical first responder. I have my EMT, but I can't perform as an EMT because I'll get in trouble if I perform higher than my licensure.
This is Flint.
Can I say something now?
Don't be mad.
I'm not mad. I'm just asking. I don't want to be cut off again. No, I understand what you're saying.
No, you're going to be cut off when you need to be cut off.
I didn't need to be cut off.
You did, because we needed to hear that.
I understand that, Charlie, but there was another part of that I also think needs to be heard, and there's a safety component to that as well. When you go to a medical run that may have some criminal element to it, are you required, or do you still wait for a police car, which also puts you on the clock?
That we do. We have to stage. When it first started, I didn't stage at all. I'm a Detroiter.
Staging means you have to hide around the corner.
Yes, I have to hide around the corner, but I don't do that. Somebody shot. Little JoJo was shot. I I perform my job, so he would not. That's why JoJo was alive today, because I perform my duty. I'm like, I'm going to go in. We had a couple of other incidences because I'm a boss and I can read a scene, and I've lived in Detroit my whole life. No, we need to go on this scene. It's been plenty of times that
You
I don't
know
go
the
and
people.
hide.
You know the people you serve. That's the advantage, Charlie. And we talk about residency of living in the neighborhoods with the people that you respond to. You're not afraid of them. You know who they are. You can
Oh,
read
no,
a
he's
room.
afraid of them, but he's going anyway.
He
That's
just said
called
he wasn't
bravery.
afraid.
Yeah, he's afraid.
I'm not afraid.
He said he wasn't
Yes,
afraid,
he-
Charlie.
Well, he's afraid.
You got to cut him off and then tell him what he really thinks.
He's not telling the truth.
Kind of show is
He,
this?
he knows it's a murder scene.
I want to tell you a story. We had around the corner. We had he didn't even get Narcan. A lady, she was a crackhead, but she didn't. The drug dealers around the corner didn't want us to perform our duty. They wanted us to call the police. No, I didn't call the police. That's what my job is to do, to call the police. Wait a minute, let me call the police on this one. I'm going to take you around the corner, like she wanted, and I'm going to perform my EMT services, and I'm going to tell the EMT to meet me around the corner because I know that the drug dealers don't want the cops involved. They're right across the street from the fire station. It's around John R. and 7 Mile. So I'm going to go around the corner, Danbury or something, so that we don't get retaliated against. We bring those cops to those drug dealers,
Got
we're
a
going
whole
to fire
other
them.
issue. Yeah.
So I'm going to do my job, and I think that's...
You're savvy. You know it's dangerous.
that was
You know exactly what to do.
Street smart.
But
That's
you got to be a little street smart when you're working in the fire
It's a
department
lot of
as well.
street smart.
But you got to know. So now, speaking of all that, you're in the news. We talked, column. Maurice, remember I told you about Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, and he bought a house and he couldn't fix it up, and the land bank's supposed to take it, but they didn't take it. They actually let him sell it for $190,000 to
keep
some
the profit.
murky LLC and let him keep it, even though it has no walls, no wiring, no porch,
Doors.
without everything's falling in. And he was a city employee, so he got a half price. You also were a city employee. You bought a house that you wanted to fix up, that you wanted to move into,
Yes.
and you didn't get yours fixed up on time. What'd they do to you?
They took it from me.
They took it from you. How much did you put in there?
20, 30,000.
Did you actually do physical labor on it yourself?
Yes, I did. You can see the pictures.
So they didn't let you sell it and recoup your 20 grand that I'm assuming, I actually know, that you pulled out of your retirement.
Yes, I pulled out my annuities and just worked on the house.
So they took it. So this wasn't any rule that was in place. That they're trying to pretend, the powers that be, that, oh, we'll let you sell it and keep the money that you put into it, and then anything extra we're going to split. No, that's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened at all. They
Just,
took it, and
but you got it back.
yeah, I had to jump through a whole lot of hoops to get it back. Pay a lot of taxes, and
You got it 4 years later.
4 years later.
4 years, they took it from you. You got it 4 years later. You got it back, and let's see, you put a roof on it.
Put a
You
roof-
did the kitchen, I saw.
did the bathroom.
Oh, the walls are nice.
Did
That
the
fireplace
flooring.
is beautiful. Yeah,
Did
it's
the
real
flooring.
nice. Yep, the porch is really good.
And redid the porch.
They stole your hot water heater 3 times.
Stole the furnace.
So you
Water
got it
heater.
back,
Mm-hmm.
like late last year, early this year. And then you got a notice in the mail. What would the notice say?
That I didn't own it properly at all. The land bank owned it.
Really? You still don't have it? Didn't you get a notice of like repossession because of taxes?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I received that. Yes.
Okay, so there's $4,000 in taxes that accrued when you didn't own it.
Yes. I didn't own it, but those $1,600 accrued it to $4,000.
Over the period of time that it wasn't in your possession.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you got a pay it by the end of this month or we're taking it back?
I paid it last Monday.
Did you borrow the money?
Yes, I did. My sister gave it to me.
You promised to pay her back?
Yes. She's probably looking at me like,
That's all right.
You're a beautiful sister.
yes.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to post it on our website. I know some people out in Washington, D.C. area trying to raise some money for it because you're our kind of people. We will also push for that. You have a Cash App?
Yes, I do. Funches, Maurice Funches. That's it. That's it.
Which is a $, the last S.
$sign.
Okay, I don't even know what this is. What is it now?
$sign Maurice Funches.
Yeah, it's $, Maurice.
$sign
Okay.
Maurice Funches. Just all one word like.
Funchess.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. All right, we'll get that up and, I
Okay.
mean,
Well,
donate something there. And where you living now?
Well, I'm living within a retired Army home, Army vet's home. She lets me rent it out for $60 a day, so we stay in one room. You can ask my kids. We stay in one room.
Yeah?
I stay on the couch.
okay, well.
Is it tough, kids? Yes. Victor says yes. And what's your daughter's name?
Victoria,
Hi, Victoria. Hi. What's your other son's name?
Jemanuel, Vincent.
Adorable kids.
Oh.
I'm going to kidnap them.
Excellent kids. Gorgeous, well behaved, probably really smart. And you know what? I know too, growing up. This time you're thinking about is going to be like the best time.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to tell your children, other kids don't got what you have. It really makes you strong and gives you wisdom. Right? Now, it's important to say, when you were injured, you were out for a couple of months. You don't get the full pay, you get the partial pay. And then if I know anything about first responders, you live on the overtime.
Yes, we do.
And you didn't make that overtime.
No, I did
So bills started accruing, the rent didn't get made, but you still got the truck.
Yep.
Right.
They're
Putting it
behind.
together.
And they're behind. It's behind, but
Okay.
I still try to make it happen.
And that's the house. Hey, Victor, is that the house you want to be in? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Then we'll do that. And we'll leave it at this. Let's leave the program at this.
All right.
Respect, brother.
Thank you.
You're back on the job, right?
Yes, I'm back to work. Be back Saturday.
Okay. What do you?
I'm at 60%, but I'm still going to do my job. I still got to work. I still got to feed my children. That's first and foremost.
Can I take your kids shopping or to dinner? Can I? Do they? You trust me enough to hang out?
Oh,
with
Victor's
them for a
like,
day?
hell yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
you have no idea. We got you. All right.
All right, that's a done deal.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you
All right.
Monday.
All right. Thank you. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave.